Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, live from the Toyota Lounge. We got AJ, we got Rudo coming to you on Media Day. Lots of storylines to get into, lots of players that got talked to today. Shout out Enrique becoming a member.
Also, calm down.
I don't have to live with him, so.
I don't need any more either.
Consider becoming a member yourself today. It helps support us a little bit. You get access to our behind-the-scenes content. I just dropped my rookie showcase vlog. If you're a member, you can go watch that right now on our YouTube channel. So do that. You also get emojis like Enrique was talking about in the chat that you get to spam. So
did me firing that water bottle at you make the cut?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's in there.
Sick. Also, my bad.
Ah, it's good.
Violence overcame me.
It was good content.
All right. Throw more things at Rudo, I guess. Content.
Wouldn't be the first. Allie used to throw shoes at me back in the day, so on show.
Why?
Because we were being children.
Oh, I actually do remember this. Yeah. I do remember this. Yeah, Pod Mom really. You guys think Tiff is Pod Mom now? She mostly just hangs with us. She's as bad an influence as anybody else, honestly. Allie was like a stickler.
No, we're talking biggest storylines to start the season for the Colorado Avalanche this year. Obviously, we talked about some of these over the summer, but we wanted to rehash them, and then we get to hear from some of the guys that are involved in these storylines today. So
I love rehashing stuff.
Well, you know, that's the way it is until hockey actually really starts.
Yeah,
so.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah. Tomorrow morning, we get to stop rehashing and start
talking
hashing.
new stuff. AJ, I am curious. What do you think the biggest storyline is today for the Colorado Avalanche?
It's Marty Necas.
Okay.
It's the Marty Necas and the contract conversation and the uncertainty of it, and this fan base's scar tissue from what happened with Mikko Rantanen last year, and the uncertainty of it, and the uncertainty of Marty Necas as an elite player.
Yeah.
As a high-end, consistent point per game guy who's going to also show up in the postseason.
Yep.
I think that is a storyline unique to the Avalanche. That is number one, because I see somebody in chat mentions injuries. That is a story for 32 teams.
Yeah. Every year.
It is so much less of a story so far this year than last year.
Yep.
Where last year, there was no Gabe Landeskog, there was no Arturi Lekin, there was no Val Jachushkin. Now, all of those were injuries, as we know. But this year, it's like Sam Girard is probably good for opening night.
Yep.
Mackenzie Blackwood might miss the first week of the season.
Yep.
Logan O'Connor is your long-term injury, and he should be back
in November.
I have him slated to miss roughly 14-ish games, give or take a few on either side. Like you're at the moment, you're in pretty good shape injury-wise. So I think that leaves you with Marty Necas as the biggest, can he do this for real?
Yep.
He was a point-per-game player across the season last year, but in Colorado, 28 points in 30 games, and then 5 points in 7 playoff games.
Yep. Which is not horrible by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. It's the 4 playoff games that he didn't score any points.
Yep.
So the pressure is really on him. It's a contract year. I know that the two sides are talking. How productive will that be?
Step? Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of the uncertainty of the market and all the high quality players that have to figure these types of contracts out with, a lot. Everybody has cap space all of a sudden, so it's a lot harder for these guys to leave for greener pastures, given the financial system being what it is right now.
Yep.
And that, I think, all of that combines to make Marty Necas the top storyline walking in.
I think that's fair. It's an interesting conversation because it's not just, hey, the Avs went out and got this guy. He needs to perform. He needs to be an effective hockey player, which I think he will be, at least to a certain extent. how high you want to go on him, whatever. But then also you have the contract conversation.
Yeah.
Where it feels especially interesting with Necas because the Avs just did this with Mikko, right?
Yeah.
They were in more or less the same spot of a guy in the last year of his contract heading into free agency where the expectation was he needs to be an elite level player. And whether he was or not, the money needs to make sense as well.
Yeah.
So with Mikko, he found out by team number 3 that what he was worth.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the Avs can afford to continue down the path of, we can just keep flipping guys, right? At what point do you need to just get Necas signed?
Yeah, and I think that is their goal. I think it's Necas' goal. He likes Colorado. I know that there was that report over the summer about him not being super about it.
Completely erroneous, but
strange.
Yeah.
I'm not even entirely sure where it came from. It's such an odd.
Yeah.
Just all the conversations that I had about it, it didn't line up. So with Necas, I think he likes Colorado. Colorado likes him. He's a good stylistic fit. And yeah, you don't want to just, what are you going to do? Move him for first round picks and then wait 3 to 5 years for those first round picks to become the fully grown versions of
Max
themselves?
34 at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to wait that long?
No,
and
I'm not.
I just think that's really where your Colorado doesn't have very much leverage here.
Yeah.
Their main leverage is it's Colorado. You're going to play alongside Nathan MacKinnon.
Yep.
You're going to play with Cale Makar. You're going to be competitive. You're going to get to play meaningful hockey every year. Your destiny is largely going to be in your hands.
True.
And they're going to offer him a lot of money.
Yep.
There will be a lot of money offered by the Avalanche. Now, where's that ending up? I'm not even trying to get into that.
Sure.
But until it's signed,
it's not done.
It's an open-ended question.
Yep.
And what is he worth? What are they comfortable with? It would be great for the Avalanche, I think, to get ahead of all this.
Yep.
To get ahead of the market.
For it to just be done.
Because if he signs for, just for conversational sake, if he signs for $10 million, and then Kaprizov signs for $16 million or $17 million.
It looks good
whatever,
immediately.
right?
Yeah.
You're immediately like, okay, Kaprizov is a lot better than Necas.
Yep.
But that is a lot of money extra.
That's $6 million better. Yeah.
And like that's a second line player. That's Val Nichushkin.
Yep. Straight up. So would be nice. Obviously, we can't predict the future, so we'll have to see on that. But Necas did talk at Media Day today alongside new guy Victor Oloffson. So let's see what that interview brought up as far as Necas' upcoming season.
We'll go ahead from Marty and Victor. We're going to start here with Evan.
Marty, last year was probably a lot of changes for you. Do you feel more comfortable coming in this year, settled, and also this is a contract year? Is that in your head at all coming into the season?
Obviously, last year there was a lot of things happening, and being traded during the year wasn't easy. But I felt like it was a great opportunity here, and now being here, starting with the camp and kind of getting to know the guys way more is great, and I'm excited for the season.
Eric?
How would you describe your experience with Colorado, in the last 7-8 months since the trade, and is signing a new contract a priority that you want to take care of before opening night, or is that something that could drag?
Yeah, I think it was great, especially the way we play here. I think it kind of fits my game, and it was definitely a shock when I got traded, but then about contract, we're talking. We'll see what's going to happen. Can't really tell you. I don't even know, so will be interesting, and it's more about my agent.
Pat?
Hey, Victor, what did you know about the Avalanche, and what was the perception on the outside looking in, and what has it been like since you joined them?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been here for about a week and a half, so it's all pretty new still. Just looking from the outside, it's definitely a team with high skill, plays the game with high pace. definitely a tough place to come as a visiting team, and it's always tough games. And I'm very excited to be part of this group, and the success they've had in the previous years here. It's obviously cool to see from the outside, and I'm excited to be part of it.
Megan, then Colleen.
Victor, it seems like the defensive side of your game really improved with Vegas. How can you continue to build on that here in Colorado, and what do you think brought you success there?
I don't know exactly what the details was exactly about my defensive game, but I did put a lot of effort and take pride in playing the game in both ends. And like you said, I feel like I definitely took a step last year, and was very solid defensively, if I can say it myself, and definitely want to keep on improving that, and still play to my strength. I see myself as an offensive player, and I think I can put the puck in the net. So definitely want to do that too, but I also want to be a solid player that they can trust out there.
Colleen, and then Bailey.
Marty, Joe and Chris said at the end of the season that they thought they had the team last year, and bringing you in and starting this season, both Bednar, Gabe, and Nate have said that it feels different. It feels more tight, more focused. Do you feel that, and is that better and easier for you to kind of get the season started, having that solidity?
Yeah, and I also think that there were so many changes last year here. So many guys, got traded and traded out. So it's always pretty hard when you come from somewhere to a new team, and you kind of, and when you have like 5 to 10 guys like that, it is definitely a little different for the team. And I feel like coming here already before the camp, it feels like, the guys are tight, and we're having a good group, we're having fun. So I think that's very important for the team too. And obviously, last year playoffs didn't go as we hoped for, but that's in the past, and focus is on the first game of the season, and I'm excited for that.
Bailey?
Marty, with a little bit of familiarity in the room with Brent Burns coming into, with your time with him in Carolina, I'm wondering if you can speak to the kind of player he is both on and off the ice. And then second parter, a little bit more of a fun one. If I remember correctly, there was a little bit of a bet with a hair dye job that came last season too. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that, if there's been any kind of fun shenanigans getting into the season.
Yeah, I think Burnsy, everybody knows him on the ice, the player he is, and it's pretty impressive, the career he had, and but off the ice, he's a guy you want to have in the locker room. I think he's 40 now. But he acts like he's 20, and he really glues the team together. And I think he's a great guy. He fits in here. I think that's the guy we needed. And the bet, it was just golf game, and we had a bet, and whoever's gonna lose gonna have to dye his hair. And I lost in the playoff hole, so I had to do it.
Rod?
Yeah, Marty. Distinct from the way your season ended, Jared was saying how everyone's gotten back early, there seems to be a lot of drive, everyone wants to kind of right that wrong, but then Nate was saying that he doesn't want to be driven by negativity. What does last year's finish mean for the start of this year for you?
I think you don't really think about last season anymore, I think. Obviously, we had a long summer, we had a good summer, and I think everybody did, and at least for me, he's still trying to get better. Kind of think what he did last season, what he can do better. But at the end of the day, camp starts tomorrow. You don't think what was in the past, and you're just trying to do your best to prepare yourself for the season. And the faces that came here last year, me and the other guys, I think it's hard during the season to get traded, but now you're here for the full season. You started a team, and I think it's way easier, and I think that's going to be a good one.
Finish with Eric.
Marty, last year when you came in, you and Nate had that instant chemistry. There's a lot of talk on the power play about 2 right shot guys that are both finesse players, want the puck. Like, Do you enjoy kind of playing off of him, or is that something where you prefer to be away from him and, not, you guys both want the puck? Like, how do you like to enjoy playing with McKinnon?
Yeah, that's the part we, kind of have to help each other. And, there's one guy who runs the power play kind of, the other guy, the other guys play off him. So I feel like we kind of switch there a little bit. We both played, in Carolina I played in the same spot as Nate does here. And even here, sometimes he played in front, I played on the half wall. So we kind of try to, whoever's there is going to stay there. And, I think it's hard to defend when you have, more guys that can play the same role, and, whoever's there, play there, and obviously Nate is one of the 2 best players in the world, so you gotta respect him, let him kind of have his spot there, and, he's been great in that we kind of exchanged there, and, I liked it.
Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Brendan. Thank you.
Jeez.
All right.
I think he's just a squirrel.
Yeah, just a squirrel on the shirt?
Yeah, on Nature's shirt. I think it's just a squirrel.
So Marty's contract, is that like a deep lying? He's trying to get his nut? Is that the...
If that was his intention, that's incredible.
We tried.
Incredible.
We do need to pay some bills, though. Let's make sure we jump over and do that. As we are brought to you by the folks over at Game Time. Preseason games are right around the corner for the Avs. You want to get on those. Of course, you can also get into the NFL season, which is underway. A bunch of other sports, too. It's the Outlaws are playing, I think, soon, too, in the championship or something. I don't know.
They already did.
Did they win?
I don't know.
I'm not a lacrosse guy. Whatever sport you are into, though, doesn't matter whether I like it or not, Game Time can get you there. And when you sign up with code DNVR, you'll get $20 off your first purchase with the Game Time app. Join over 15 million people that use Game Time to get their tickets. You can get great deals on tickets, whether it's their last-minute deals, their section selector, or use the Game Time Picks feature, where it'll filter out based on what you search on and only show you the best tickets for the best prices based on your parameters. So again, jump in with Game Time. Use that DNVR code to get $20 off your first purchase. Of course, terms and conditions apply. Download that Game Time app today. There's a link down in the description. Tap, ticket, go. Get the Game Time app today. Once you got your tickets through Game Time, make sure you're also fueled up and ready to go for your game with Raising Cane's. You can jump in and do game day the Cane's way. Whether you're tailgating or cheering from the couch, fuel your crew with Raising Cane's with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and the MVP of every bite, the Raising Cane's sauce. Don't forget, they've got the jugs of freshly brewed tea and freshly squeezed lemonade to keep the squad refreshed. Big plays, big flavor. It's how Cane's does game day. So rally your team and make your next tailgate a touchdown. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche Podcast.
Are you curious?
About what?
The Outlaws did not win.
Okay, second place.
They lost to my hometown New York team.
Happy for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, as we all know, Colorado can only win one professional championship a year, so maybe the Avs dodged a bullet by the Outlaws losing, all right?
Yeah. Well, it's 2025. Their championship will be 2026, so...
Yeah, has the new season started for lacrosse at that point? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyway, storylines for the year. Where do you want to go next, AJ? You want to talk coaching, or you want to talk?
Yeah, I think coaching is another big storyline. It's the first time under Jared Bednar that they've changed assistants.
Yep.
So Ray Bennett is out. Dave Haxtell is in. He did confirm Haxtell will be running the power play. And then I'm not sure which part of the Bednar interview that we are playing today.
Half.
But Bednar does talk about Haxtell and what he saw in Haxtell that made him comfortable bringing him on as the guy. So we'll see how that goes. For me, I'm like, I understand your reasoning. I get where you're coming from. Everything to prove here. Everything to prove.
For sure. During the offseason post-Haxtell hire, there's been this conversation in the Avalanche-sphere.
No.
Is there a world where Haxtell is the heir apparent, the guy that if things go poorly could replace Jared Bednar?
I don't know why you would need to do that when Pete DeBoer is unemployed. You could just hire that guy to come in and all of his players could hate him, but at least he'll get to a conference final.
Much better track record as a head coach. Yeah,
exactly. So if that's your heir apparent, you have not set up a great line of succession.
Let me follow that up with a question that I know I've asked you multiple times this offseason, but the people want answers.
Oh, good.
What?
Good.
Let me start it with, how warm is the seat for Jared Bednar today?
I'm not going to say it's cold.
Yeah.
But it's not hot. I think it is. If you lose again in round one, Chris McFarland
should be very, very warm. Yeah.
Chris McFarland has done a lot of work. He's revamped the goaltending. He got him a tried and true proven second line center, then re-signed him. He has managed to build out a solid salary cap situation moving forward. From like the depths of what they've been in, which has definitely been hell.
Being as least generous as possible. On paper today, the Avs should be a top 2 team in the Central and a top 4 team in the West.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's as least generous as possible, I suppose that is. Yeah,
absolutely. Anybody else is just being a straight hater, which I respect. As a born hater, I respect it, but that's too far for me. So I would agree with you. Because of that, the expectations are high. You can't lose in round one again. I don't care who your opponent is. You shouldn't have lost in round one with no Miro Heiskanen and Jason Robertson. It's an unacceptable result.
I think we all agree the Avs should have won that series, but they choked or they came up short or whatever you want to call it.
And when I say unacceptable, I guess I don't know what you do, because you're not going to fire him. Not last year.
Yeah, there was no way.
This year, though, I think, okay, hey, you've gotten out of the first round once since you won a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Now, there have been we know that Seattle series.
Context there for sure, yeah.
But bottom line, right? Like, this is a results-based business, and the results have not been very good. The regular seasons have been good. It hasn't carried over. There have been some things that have happened. The Landeskog and Nichushkin storylines have been tough. They've been tough.
Yeah. No doubt.
None of that happened to them last year, and they lost. So I think that that reality has meant that it's not cold, but it's not scorching.
Sure. If they lose in the first round again, it might be pretty scorching.
If they lose in the first round again, I think you have to have a serious conversation about it.
Okay.
Regardless of context.
For what it's worth, guys like John Cooper have gone through stretches like this.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay stuck with him, and at times it's worked out. So.
John Cooper's in Tampa Bay of won 2 playoff games in 3 years or something. It hasn't been much.
This feels like it's post their era, and things are winding down. But
well, they look really good to me. So maybe they've. It's hard. You pay a price. When you win like that and the cap doesn't go up, you pay a price. Yep. Florida's in the sweet spot. They've won twice in a row and the cap has exploded.
Yep.
So they've been able to retain everybody.
Yep.
Everybody's falling all over themselves to give credit to Bill Zito. He's built a great team. But, oh my God, has there ever been a better time to try and build out a dynasty than this?
Pick the right time.
Yeah.
I see that way.
I mean, timing is so much of life, right?
Yep.
And Bill Zito and the Panthers were a joke for so long. And now they're great. And with the Avalanche,
best team in the NHL, yeah.
Yeah, now it is timing is everything. It is time for Jared Bednar and the Avalanche to kick the excuses to the curb and go out there and just
get the
win
job done.
Games.
Yep.
Win playoff series. You should seriously be contending for a Stanley Cup this year.
Realistic expectation could be conference finals. I think that's fair.
I think anything, if you lose in round one, I think you have to have a very serious conversation about moving on from Bednar.
I think
as much as I like him, as much as I respect him as a coach,
sometimes you just need a change.
Exactly.
Yep.
And especially with a guy out there like a Pete DeBoer that is out there right now.
A quality coach.
Now, mid-season firings are going to happen, and, that's a different conversation. And obviously, there's always going to be the David Carl thing that everybody wants to talk about. I know you and I feel a way about that.
Yeah.
But if they don't make a conference final with this roster,
It's disappointing. It'll be disappointing.
It's a disappointment.
Now, context matters. If they get in the second round and they're missing 12 players and whatever.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar don't play for them in a playoff series, you're gonna be like, okay,
yeah,
that's tough to win.
A little different than if they had a healthy lineup. If who
But
are they playing?
of course,
what does their opponent look like?
You just have to. Dallas won that series.
Yeah.
No Haskin and no Robertson.
Yep.
Won that series.
We are at a point, especially against Dallas, where the Avs, it's hard to believe they can beat Dallas until they actually do.
Yep.
Anyway, we did hear from Jared Bednar quite a bit. We have part of his interview to show you on the show today, so let's see what Coach had to say about Media Day.
Jesse, are you going to be first all year?
Peter's not here. How's it going, Coach?
Good.
You guys had a little bit of a quieter summer. You know, Joe told us at the end of last season that if he could run it back, he would. And that's more or less what you guys have done. You know, there's a little bit more clarity around Gabe. You know, nothing went Val at the end of last season. Just was this maybe a summer that the organization needed?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, obviously, since 2022, we had a lot of players leaving in the off season. Some years, like last year, starting the year with significant injuries to a bunch of guys in our top six and key players, and was looking at some of the rosters that we started the season with last year compared to what we have going into this year. We're relatively healthy. We do have a handful of injuries that will hamper some guys in camp, but probably the deepest team we've had since 2022 to start the season. Some of the key players that came in and helped us post-deadline last year and in the playoffs, you know, Brock Nelson, you know, we had Burns this year. Those signings were done relatively early. Kelly re-signed, Manson re-signed. So we feel like we're a deep team right now and starting healthier than we have in the past few years. So guys are all excited about it.
But Evan, then Eric.
Just some of those guys, there was a lot of changes last year. With the guys like Brock and those guys have never been traded, like, do you think a summer of stability and training camp, there's another level that they can reach that maybe we didn't possibly see last year?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, I think that's a lot. Like, for a guy like Brock, that's a lot, right? Like, he's not just, you know, jumping in a car or jumping on a flight and getting to Denver and playing hockey. There's a lot of things outside the game that can be distractions. As easy as his family would try to make it on him, like he's moving an entire family for the first time, trying to get him settled in, trying to fit into a new team. It's why, you know, like deadline changes, I loved everything that we did. Chris did an amazing job getting us a team that we felt like could win. But having those guys back on your roster to start the year and build chemistry throughout the course of the whole 8 months of the season, I think is really important. And you know, when it comes to them as individuals, I really do think that, like, settling in now, feeling comfortable with his family, less distractions off the ice, and also knowing the guys, the way we play, I do think that we're going to see another level from guys like him. Yeah.
Eric and Pat.
Joe, two-parter. Number one, four right shot defenseman. How do you plan to deploy that? And number two, could you elaborate on the injuries and who might be missing camp?
Sure. I'll start with the injuries. So Logan O'Connor had hip surgery, as you all know, and he's doing great. His timeline was 5 to 6 months. He is, as you guys probably have seen, is on the ice. He looks great, feels great. He's working hard in the gym. So he is on track to be back in that timeline, which would put him someplace beginning of November-ish, you know, depending on how things go here and when things ramp up with the physicality that he's going to see. He's going to obviously miss and be limited, you know, through training camp and through the first part of the season. But to have him back fully healthy, his surgery, was it last year or 2 years ago? He had the other hip done and everything went great, and he's feeling better with this one. So we know how much that helped his game and the way he was feeling on the ice on a daily basis. So excited to get him back and healthy at some point. Gerard has been dealing with some lower body injuries. He's rehabbing, and everything seems to be going great there too. He is now on the ice, and So we're looking at him probably missing some time in camp when it comes to like all of our group stuff. The injured guys will be hitting the ice on their own, and we're hoping that he's going to be ready for the start of the season. And then the other one that's popped up is Blackwood was dealing with an injury over the off season. He is also rehabbing. Things seem to be going good. Week to week, I would say right now, but he's going to be limited and missing some time in camp as well. And we're hoping he's ready to go for the start of the season. If not right at the start, then maybe the first week or two.
Pat?
Coach, it's good to be able to ask you this. But
Sorry. Yeah, second part of it, the 4D, right? So, yeah, that's a deep group back there, obviously, with the addition of Burns. Lots of guys who play a lot of minutes and are really good at what they do. So we're gonna start with playing Sam Malinsky on the left side and see how that goes. Burns primarily plays right, Manson right, obviously Cale right, and that's a lot of minutes right there. So that obviously we will work on how we're going to deploy them. Some guys will play left at times, but I think like for a permanent decision, just with some experimentation here in camp, we're going to try and play Sam Malinsky on the left side as much as we possibly can here and see how it goes.
Pat, then Ryan, then we'll move over here.
It's good to be able to ask you this, but with game this season, do you have like a timeline? Like, do you want how many games you want to play? Will you play back-to-backs and maybe a minutes restriction, or how will it work with him?
Well, he's feeling great, so he'll be full go, and I think we just have to monitor that and make our decisions like in the moment, you know, like if he has any soreness or anything's going on with him and he needs a day here and there off for practice or even games, and we'll do that. Like we're looking at big picture stuff here for Landy, get him through the full entire season, have him feeling good so he's available come the stretch run and hopefully playoffs, and for me that's just going to be the communication between him and I and our medical staff. So right now he's full go. I'm not going to limit his minutes. I'm not going to sit him out games when he's feeling good or take him practices off when he's feeling good. When he feels and not that if he's feeling, if at any point he comes to me just like any other player and he's fatigued or he's not feeling like he's ready to practice for whatever reason, then we'll play it cautiously.
Bednar.
Hey Jared, just wanted to ask about the departure of Ray Bennett and the addition of Dave Haxtell, how you saw that unfolding during the playoffs and the decision to move on from Ray, and then how Haxtell is going to fit into your program.
Yeah, so tough decision, obviously. It's not something I'd thought about during the playoffs at all, and then end of the season comes and there was some discussions and we decided to move on from Ray and get a new voice in our power play room. It was tough to find someone, It's the first time I've gone through it. For 8 years we've had the same staff and did a really good job, and I had certain criteria that I wanted to meet with the hire. And there was a lot of good coaches out there, but we have a little bit of a unique situation with our personnel and in our power play room and their ability. And so I was looking for someone that had some experience dealing with top players and power plays and, really good power play coaches that have been running a successful power play with star players. They're not available, right? And so we started looking at some of the head coaches that had done it in the past and that have run teams in the past and could provide a bunch of different things for us. And I had some really good conversations with Hacker. It took a long time. I talked to a lot of people, and then just trying to find the right guy that could possibly fit in with our group and help our group was obviously the most important thing, and we feel like we found that in Hack. He's got a ton of experience, and I like what he's bringing to our staff right now, and he's excited to get started with our players here. That will happen usually for us happens about day 4 of camp, but we have the 2 games, and then after that we'll get into our special teams. The first part of camp is mostly focused on our 5-on-5 play. We had a couple other changes. Obviously Mark Letestu is now with the Eagles, with Schneeks getting a job in well-deserved in Seattle, and on our staff with Toby moving on, we hired Mark Popovic. He's been helping our team for the last few years, been doing all of like our injured ice and up with the Eagles and helping our guys, spend a bunch of time with Landy, etc. So we feel like he's ready to step up and do that job, and he's been doing a great job. As you know, our guys look really hungry. They've been here. I was here, back and forth in August, and the room was full, and when we came back after the long weekend, you can tell it's not just all of our players here. There's a ton of young guys here and excited and ready to get going for the season. So they've been skating for a long time and been together for a long time, which is exciting. It's been a long camp for them because I feel like our guys are already ready to go.
Bailey, then up here.
Bedsy talked for a total of 25 minutes in this interview, so that was just a snippet of it. If you want the whole interview, go over on our YouTube channel. You have the full interview. You can hear everything he says. Some of these other interviews are cut short, too. All of them are available in full on our YouTube channel, so go listen to them after the show.
He talks in that exact tone, too, the whole time.
The entire
I'm like, I wish I had that kind of consistency. I squeak like a mouse sometimes, and always feel bad about it. And the way that he gets up there, and he's just like...
deadpan.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a man.
Well, I might not be a man, but I do know we need to pay some bills, all right? What? I don't know. Look, I'm not good with money. I'm not going to pretend. I married my wife. She's good with money. I let her deal with it.
Humble brag, I guess.
Yeah, easy. You know why she's good with it? She uses tools like Monarch Money, all right? She actually uses financial tools that'll show her how much money we have. It'll show you more than just that, though. It's like a financial command center. It shows you everything you need, whether it's your accounts, whether it's your stocks, whether it's your whatever else you need. It'll even show you where you're spending and what you are spending on. So make sure you're getting with Monarch Money. Use it like my wife does to track all of our finances, track all of our dollars, and know what's going on in our financial lives. We promise you'll never need to touch a spreadsheet again. Don't leave any money on the table when you're making good money. It's easy to get complacent. You don't need to track every dollar, but ignoring your finances entirely can cost you. Monarch helps you stay informed so nothing slips through the cracks. And it's not just another finance app. It's a tool real professionals and experts actually love. It was named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. Forbes named it the best app for couples, and named CNBC's top finance tech company in the world. So, or one of, rather. They're good at what they do. That's what it is when it comes to Monarch Money. Again, don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. Once you're good with Monarch Money, you have a little bit of extra beer money. That's where Breckenridge Brewery comes in. Make sure you jump on with Breck Brew, our official craft beer of DNVR. You can jump in with Breck Brew today with their new West Coast style IPA Ridge Runner. It's a double dry hopped brew inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails. But of course, they have a beer flavor for everyone. You can jump in with dozens of flavors. You know me. I'm a simple Avalanche Amber guy. But they've got IPAs. They've got Kolsch's. They've got... I'm trying to think of names of beer.
You're looking at me like
I know. You're not going to help me. There you go. Tiff knows all the... it's all beer to me. I'm not a complicated guy. Jump in, though, with Breck Brew. Dozens of different flavors to check out, and they've been doing it for 33 years. So it comes down to their love and passion for making good beer. Check out their beer locator online at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast.
I gotta say, Tiff rattling off different types of beers like that reminded me of Mambo No. 5 and made me sad that there's no like Weird Al version of that for the beers.
In my life.
Exactly. Exactly.
Love it. Let me ask you this question. Who is the biggest return and or retention for the Avs this year? Is it Brock Nelson or is it Gabe Landeskog?
Oh, I mean, no offense, Brock Nelson.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's definitely Landy. It's like Brock Nelson's going to be really important and was a guy that was talked about a lot today. But Landeskog's importance really cannot be overstated. This was a guy before he got hurt. We say before he got hurt, he was playing hurt.
Yeah.
So he played through the injury that cost him 3 years, and he was a point per game guy and scoring 20 to 30 goals, had the best postseason of his career, and was an all-around two-way monster with a bum knee.
Pretty good. That was 3 years ago, though.
Exactly. And so I'm not going to say, oh, he needs to be that level. That would be great, though. But if he's 80% of that guy, they're in the money.
Yep.
And that's just on the ice. Off the ice, the leadership.
Yeah, it was a whole different component. Yeah.
Cale Makar talked about it a little bit, saying that they have a great leadership group and it's everybody's part. Everybody has to play a part to try and pull the rope in the same direction. And, I don't remember exactly how he worded it. He said, everybody has a role. Everybody's got something to do. But it's going to be really nice having that one guy at the top of the food chain that they go to that connects the room with the coaching staff in the way that it's meant to be.
It's interesting because I think a lot gets made of the culture when it comes to winning and things like that. And
yeah,
rightfully so. I don't want to take anything away from that, but it is obvious how much of an impact Gabe Landeskog has on that culture here in Colorado.
Yeah.
And his return to being an everyday NHL player, his on-ice results absolutely matter, but it's almost more important from the captaincy side, from the, hey, we have Nathan MacKinnon, a psychopath, singly driven by the will to win at all costs.
Yeah.
And Gabe wants to win too, but he's also like, let's not lose our minds here. Let's remember that we play a children's game.
He's an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Which helps.
It does. You need those guys in your locker room.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot over the years on the pod. They miss their adult in the room.
Sure.
Jared Bednar he has needed an emotional support human that he can lean on for locker room things, and now he's got it.
There you go. Landy and Nate did talk together for Media Day, so some of the Avs' big guns on the mic. Let's see what they had to say.
Good to see both teams. Jared was just out here saying that he feels this is maybe the deepest team that you guys have had to start the season. I guess, Gabe, just your thoughts on that, and then Nate, for you, not only that, but having this guy who's sitting next to you back in to start the season this year.
Well, I think it's definitely an exciting time of year, an exciting group that we have. I'd say it's probably. Does this sound okay?
Yeah. Can I pull it part down a little bit?
Where?
Maybe just down a little bit, away from you a little bit.
Okay.
Voice got a little raspy.
Yeah. I mean, you look at our lineup. It's deep, strong. All positions look really good, and I think that's a great start at this time of year. We're relatively healthy, and I think that's huge to start the year off. And we're all excited for camp, and looking forward to see what we can do as a group, and hopefully establish ourselves right off the start and have a strong start.
Colleen, then Corey.
I have to answer.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nate.
I think I got the same one. I think obviously with Gabe back, it's nice not to have any more uncertainty around our whole team. Every year it feels like we don't know who's going to be on the team. And it's great. We brought back most of the guys. I think we got like 9 new guys last year during the season. So it's hard. It's hard to I don't know, it's just so quick, and we're so busy that you're at the rink, but you're not really spending quality time. So it's nice that we're trying to do that now. Obviously having Landy back is huge. I just don't think you just can't replace him, obviously, and we knew he was going to come back eventually. So just tough to compete without him the last few years.
Colleen?
Kind of piggybacking on that, at the end of the season, Joe and Chris both said that, they thought you had the team last year. What is the significant difference from last year's ending to coming into this season with the new players and just the feeling of the room?
Well, I think you look at the change in the roster from training camp last year to the end of the year, obviously, like Nate said, it's significant. And you need a lot of things to fall into place. You need just things to bounce your way, I guess, to a certain extent. At the same time, I think the big difference is that we're sitting here now with a deep lineup, and you look at our top six, and you look at our bottom six, and you look at our D-core and our goalies. Like, there's just, I see us having a very strong lineup from top to bottom right off the bat, and then I think that's something you can build off of that, right? You start there, and you build the chemistry, you build the special teams right off the bat. You know where guys are going to be. You can tweak things as you go, but for the most part, you can start and set the foundation, and then just build off of that and get better as the season goes on. Last year's a lot of new faces coming in at the end of the year. I come back in for game one of the playoffs. It's just a lot of things moving around. So I like where we're at this time of year. I'm excited to get it started.
Corey, then Pat.
Hey, Jared just said that, it was pretty clear that the special teams were an issue against Dallas. You have a new person in charge of power play. Just how much did you think about what happened with the power play over the summer, and what sort of changes, if anything, do you expect?
I don't know. I haven't talked much to Dave yet. I know we're going to meet this week. I don't know his thoughts. Yeah, it was a tough first round for sure. Couldn't get a ton going. Yeah, it's hard though. Since we got Marty, I think we were actually like in the 20s, and then we went up to 8th after we got Marty. So our power play was really good, and we got to figure out why. Why we couldn't convert more and create more chances, and it starts with me. I have the puck the most, and I didn't do enough to create. So definitely learned from that, but there was a lot of positives in the regular season. Dallas did a good job. There's two teams, but we definitely need to create more, for sure.
Pat?
Dave, kind of a two-parter for you. The first part is basically you had that kind of a comeback hanging over your head. How's it nice to just go into the season, just your regular season again, and how are you going to manage yourself through the season and maintain your health?
Yeah, to answer your first question, really excited to just have an off season in the bank now, and going into training camp as if I'm just anybody else on the team. So really exciting, and kind of enough of what was going on last year. It was. I understand why there was so much talk about it, but at the same time now it's nice to just come to work and try to play as well as I can to help the team win, right? I think in terms of managing it, we got 7 games out of it last year, so we don't really know what the managing exactly looks like over an 82-game schedule plus. So it's going to be something we just continue working on as we go through the season, but I expect to be feeling good, and I expect to be playing, and I expect to be playing a lot. So, recovery and everything else that goes into this off the ice is going to be important, as it always is. And nonetheless, looking forward to getting the season started.
Over here, Rod, then Troy.
I got the mic. Thank you.
For both of you, when did the sting of the way last season ended fade? If it hasn't, how much is it driving for this season?
Yeah, it hasn't. It still hurts. It still hurts for sure. I really think we have most of our team back, but I thought we were good enough to win last year, and you're not going to win every single year, even with the same team. But like Landy said, lots of things going to fall into place. Obviously, special teams kind of lost us that series overall. 5-on-5, we were very, very, very good team. So definitely that was the issue. But I don't know how much negativity can really drive you for the next 9 months. I think we're trying to be positive and look at it from just a new chapter, new challenges throughout this season. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. It's a long year. It's a grueling year with the Olympics too. So it's going to be a lot of hockey. So Definitely hurts. I'm sure that game will always hurt, but going forward, I don't think it can really motivate you in the right ways if you're trying to win.
Troy, and then Will.
Gabe, you came back from an injury no one else has. You've won a cup. Nate's won an MVP and a cup. Is the motivation to win another cup based on legacy, the window of this group? And how do you approach it? Because like we talk about the Nuggets in terms of their window and the goal of their win. Is that how you guys see it? That to validate everything you've done, you need another championship, or how do you approach it in the room with the group, this core group of guys that have been together for a bit?
I mean, I think first of all, I think the motivation comes from the inside, right? Like intrinsic motivation, I think just is what drives us every day. And yes, the end goal is to win another Stanley Cup and hopefully win multiple, right? I think that's why we keep doing this, and this is why we keep trying. This is why I didn't grind my ass off for 3 years to come back and just be a part of the team. You try to win, and we want to put another banner up in the building, but ultimately, I think what you think about is sharing that bond with those guys and winning it with the teammates. I mean, I think when we all went through it in 22, it's the bonds that you create. It's the grind to get there. And yeah, the feeling at the end is great, but it doesn't last. Scotty Scheffler talked about it this summer. It doesn't last very long, and it's a road to get there. And I think at the end of the day, we've got a bunch of guys on the team that haven't been there yet, and we'd love to get those guys over the hump and be the last team standing. So, nonetheless, I think we're a very hungry group. We're probably as motivated and as excited as we've been in a long time, and that's a good way to start the season.
Landy does go on to talk a little bit more if you want to watch the rest of that interview on our YouTube channel. Also, if you ever wondered what it was like to hear Landy answer the phone, go check that interview out.
He does answer a phone at the end of that.
It does happen,
which was a delight.
A bit amusing. So go check that out. And then the last bit, we don't really have a ton of time here, so not too much to talk about it. But if you want to hear Cale Makar and Devon Toews, the best pairing in the NHL, talk a little bit about the upcoming year, we have that too.
Questions for Devon and Cale? Go ahead, Colleen.
Pretty much for both of you, was there anything that you did significantly different in this offseason coming in this season?
You're good. No, I don't think so. Not from my side of things, but no, I got nothing. Sorry, I got nothing for you.
Yeah, I guess nothing on my end as well. Nothing, obviously a little bit longer summer than normal, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Yes. We'll go Jesse, then Pat.
How's it going, guys? We've talked to both Nate and Gabe and Jared about Brent Burns coming in. You guys are defensemen that eat up a lot of minutes. He's a guy who historically throughout his career eats a lot of minutes. What can bringing in a player like that do for not just you guys, but the entire D-corps?
Yeah, I think some stability there would be nice. He's a guy that's obviously played a long time and played a lot of games and stayed very healthy throughout his career. So to have a guy that's a steady presence in your lineup, and the length and the strength that he puts in, and then his playmaking ability on the offensive side, I think is going to suit our game and what we're trying to do really well.
Pat?
Okay, so I guess this is the first season, we're not talking about the comeback of Landy. You actually have him back. What's it like having the captain back, and what can he bring? What he brings to the room again now that he's here full time?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he was definitely a missing piece for us the last 3 years, and it's especially nice, obviously, you get your captain back like that, and in a big moment in the playoffs. And I think for him and for us, it's the most important thing is for him to feel good and feel confident coming into this year. And I'm just excited to obviously have him back at the rink every day on the ice with us. He's going to play a huge role, whether it's on and off the ice, and you're already seeing that. So it's exciting to have him back. I think he really fills out the team and the role that we need him to play.
Ryan, then Troy.
Hey guys, how exciting is it to just be back, get ready for the start of a new season, and is it more so with it being an Olympic year and that coming up in the middle?
Yeah, I think we're excited to get going. I think we like the team that we have here. we have so many familiar faces and new faces that we think fit our style of play and, you know, our room and the culture we're building really well. And yeah, Olympics is something that's fun and hopefully get the opportunity to do and get to watch him nonstop. So that'd be fun too.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, if you want me to answer that too. Yeah, obviously, just a little bit of a different year coming into it. And you know, I don't think in terms of myself, mindset doesn't really kick into high gear until you're kind of getting like late August, mid-August, and then you're kind of getting excited to get back at it. And so for me, I'm just excited to get camp started again. Obviously, pretty similar group to what we had last year, a couple new bodies and all great guys. And it's definitely exciting. And touch on the Olympics, I guess, too. It seems like a long ways away still for me. I know a lot of people are talking about how close it is and it might be different for the solo athletes that prepare 4 years for it. But in my mind, I feel like there's still a long ways to go. And we still got a job at hand before that. So we'll get there when we get there. And I think closer to Christmas it'll get more exciting. But definitely excited to just get camp rolling now and excited to start everything with our team here.
Troy, then Will.
You guys are really good teams the last couple of years, but you had these huge changes at the trade deadline, kind of trying to fix the plan while it's in the air. How much can less uncertainty and more stability help this team pursue a championship? As Coach Bednar said, you're kind of hopeful that the team at the beginning is going to be the team at the end, that you can all grow together instead of trying to welcome 4 or 5 new faces right in the meat of it.
Yeah, I think it's nice, especially in camp. You know, we can get down to the nitty-gritty a lot quicker. We don't have to bring as many guys along with our system and structure and all of that. So obviously there is some new faces, but most of the guys here have had at least, a half season. Even the guys that we brought in at trade deadline, they've got it figured out and they're going to be, I think, ready to go for camp. And I think it'll just make our games much more important to get us kind of going. And then starting the season, I think we'll be ready to go and have a very good plan of what it's going to look like from the start, which we haven't had, I think, in 3-4 years here.
Well, then Rod.
Cale, Jared talked about the sense of urgency going into this year. Nathan just said it would be disappointing to only get one Stanley Cup. I know it's really hard to win a cup, but do you feel the same way that this team's ready to add a second trophy, a second cup with this core?
For sure. I mean, it's a tough question, obviously. I think for us, obviously, we all want to win, and you want to win the Stanley Cup. That's the goal for everybody, and we want to do it again. And for me, I don't really look at it like I guess at this moment right now, obviously that's our goal, but there's so much to do to get there. And yeah, I mean, it's a hard question to ask because I think I wouldn't look at it as a failure. Obviously, we want to do that, and we want to be the best that we can be. And I think it's exciting this year. We've had some really good teams in the past couple of years, and we just haven't been able to get it done. And I think this year there's even more excitement around the team. We touched on it last question just coming into this year, but no question marks it seems like at the moment, and obviously especially with Landy back, so there's no question marks around that when he's going to come back. So it's nice to have a full team, and I think the mindset of everybody's so locked in and dialed right now, and I'm excited to just get it going. And again, I think the success of it all, it'll come, I think, and that's the exciting part is when you start building these bonds in the team. It'll be fun, and I think we'll get there. So, yeah.
Rod?
With Landy back, not on the ice but off the ice, you guys kind of collaboratively had to fill that leadership void. With him back now, does it allow you more focus, more time on the ice, and not kind of have to have all that in a locker room?
I guess yes and no. I think we all still try to do our part. We know you don't just throw everything on his shoulders right away either. I think, leadership is a team aspect, and it's a group of people that lead the team, but he's our main voice. He's the guy that has to take a lot of questions from you guys and talk to Bedsy and relay information. So just to have his calmness with that is going to be nice.
But
kind of piggybacking off of that for both of you guys, I'm wondering with his absence off the ice, how that shaped you and changed you leadership-wise, player-wise, and how that made you better and maybe more prepared going into this season.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, you're playing 2-3 years without a captain, a guy that's just fully kind of the main league guy. And in my opinion, it's hard to play on teams when you don't have a league guy, a main league guy like that. And everybody obviously wants to contribute. And to Taser's point, I'm still a firm believer everybody's got to be a leader on the team in order to be successful, and everybody plays unique roles in that. But I think you do need that one guy to always lean on or ask questions to, and have the capability to lead the group when you need to. And we have some amazing leaders in the room, but I think I've learned a lot and grown a lot, I feel like, in the last couple of years, just without his presence around the room, whether it's just trying to find my style of leadership and kind of going from there. But that's what makes our team unique too. I think we have so many different styles of leaders, and it's such a good thing to have, especially for a competition and practice days and off ice. So it's a very unique group, and it's awesome.
Megan?
Kale, with a new voice on the power play, what are you most excited about having maybe a different perspective?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's obviously it's tough. I mean, for me, that's the first coaching change I've gone through being here in 6 years. So it'll be new, but at the same time, a new voice is never a bad thing. You always want different perspectives, and I think we're all excited to see what we've got in store for that. And I don't think there's going to be anything groundbreaking. I think it's going to be, again, just putting the pieces together and trusting ourselves. And but I think the best thing for us is to go out with a plan, and then if the plan goes awry, we still have ourselves to rely on, and we can make individual plays or make plays off the plan. So it's exciting to think about that, and once we sit down with Hack and kind of get it going, I'm really excited to kind of see what he's got rolling for us.
Last you, Evan.
Devon, Brock said he talked to you quite a bit after the season ended. How much salesman work did you do to kind of keep him around? And I guess what kind of level do you think he can hit now that he's settled, he's got his family here, that maybe he wasn't able to hit last year with some distractions?
Yeah, no, a lot of legwork on that, a little bit behind the scenes. You know, he's got a lot of good voices to lean on, people that have been here. He's really good friends with Preezy, so I think he bounced a lot of questions off of him of how he enjoyed his time here. So it's not as much selling of just telling, he understands what we do here and how great it is here and how much we like it, and it's about what's best for him and his family, and if he enjoys it here and likes it here, and he made the decision that that's what he wants, which is awesome. We're so excited to have him back, and I've seen his best, and he's got more to give to us, and I think he knows it too. And I think finding his role will be key for him to find his success. But he's such a good player. He's such a good goal scorer. Can help on the penalty kill, power play, 5-on-5, shutdown role. He can kind of do everything. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, even if it doesn't seem like it or he's not given those opportunities. He can really do anything, and I think having him in that second line center role is such a good spot for him, and a spot he will thrive with us.
Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's it. We're out of time. Hope you all enjoyed. Go watch the rest of the interviews on our YouTube channel, like I mentioned. Also, great time to become a diehard. AJ pumping out pieces like a madman over there.
Not yet, but yes.
I mean, you've already got a number of pieces out.
That's true. I have a couple. There's one I'm going to zip out of here and go right. And
there you go.
Yeah.
More coming your way there, or become a member here on YouTube as well if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff. That's it. We're out of here. This has been the DNVR Avalanche Podcast. We appreciate you. And tomorrow, live from training camp, come say hello if they're there. We'll see you on the next one.
We all silly like the mayor.